Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
Hey, it's me, the Quenchies. I'm that late afternoon craving you just can't shake. Wait, what's that? Welch's Grape Aid? No! Made with real fruit and no added sugar, nothing answers the call of the Quenchies like Grape Aid. Got the Quenchies? Grab a Grape Aid in your juice aisle.
The guy would do anything for you.
The guy got himself bit by a vampire. He lied to me. He ran around behind my back and almost got himself killed. And now he tells me that he's leaving with some covert military operation at midnight unless I convince him not to. Now tell me that you understand, because I sure as hell don't.
You gonna let him go?
It's not my decision to make.
Of course it is.
Well, it's not fair.
Who cares if it's fair? In about 20 minutes, Riley's gonna disappear. Maybe forever, unless you do something to stop him.
What am I supposed to do? Beg him to stay?
Why wouldn't you?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reaction. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 10, titled Into the Woods, written and directed by Marty Noxon. Original air date December 19th, 2000, to an audience of 4.85 million people. And before we get into this episode, we've got shout outs. Multiple with an S at the end of it. So, gotta kick things off with we got them from all over the place here, Vance. We got multiple different kinds of shout outs. This is excellent.
Okay, let's do it.
It's a good week in shout outs. So we got a Apple Podcasts rate and review from Kel Slays. Thank you so much for your 5-star rate and review and lovely, lovely words of encouragement and really helping us strive to continue this podcast. I also got a Spotify screenshots sent to my DMs from Mandy on the block. Mandy, thanks so much for the Spotify rating. I always mess that up with the Spotify one. It's a rating, not a review. Well, thanks, Mandy from the block. And also, shout out to Slitheran, our Discord user, who sent over some Mountain Dew energy to your boy. So I will never fucking sleep again. This is a huge fucking case, dude. I am so jazzed. Slurping on one right now. Major melon.
I think Slytherin changed her name to Pingley on Discord.
I think that's what it was originally or something.
Yeah,
she definitely switched it.
Yeah.
I think it's her Instagram name is Slytherin.
Yeah.
There we go.
We appreciate you, Slither. Pingley Slytherin.
You the real one.
you know who you are.
Yeah. My fast ex buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so if you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcasts, rate and review, Spotify rating, screenshot it. Oh, 5 stars. You got to do 5 stars. All right. We debated about this, whether or not we do it. We've settled on it.
Sometimes we get a 4-star, we get a 3-star, We appreciate all the reviews. We give the shout outs for the 5 stars, Again, we love the show.
Yes.
Sometimes people don't
We're
get
fans.
that we do like the show. But yeah, we're gonna nitpick some stuff. That's just the nature of how we consume media, that we do like.
Yeah.
Like
I love Fast X, but that movie makes no fucking sense.
Not at all. Yeah.
But we could be up for 4 days straight nitpicking that movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. 5-star rating review on Apple Podcasts. 5-star rating on Spotify, screenshot it, send it to my DMs at Joe Welke. Or if you want to fucking send some of our stuff from the Amazon wish list that we got, or the throne thing, that'll definitely get you a big old friggin' shout out. Anything else that we need to chat about up top?
I'll bring it up right now. This month on Patreon, we're gonna be doing Bring It On.
Yeah,
so,
Boys Watching Movies.
Yeah, so this month's movie will be Bring It On. Movie I have not seen in maybe since it came out, and I probably only saw it once, so I remember nothing about it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
But
maybe certain scenes from like memes or something, but like that's about it.
But apparently our girl Glory is in that movie, so that should be fun.
Well, I can't wait to see. I think her name is Claire Kramer.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So, join the Patreon Boys Watching Movies tier. That'll be there sometime this month. And we have Patreon, we're watching Angel.
Yep. Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. And also Joe's Fashion Report, which just seems to be going pretty good. People seem to like it.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
That's all right. if that's your thing.
Yeah. If you like roughly 7 to 10 minute breakdowns of 90s fashion.
If you like nitpicking. I think we should dive into this very, very big, very special episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes. Is this when is sweeps happen in television? Is this a sweeps episode? Because Buffy and also Angel are very consequential.
See, I don't remember TV during this time having like those mid-season, finales like they started doing with like quote unquote prestige TV. But what is this, episode 9 of the series?
Yeah, episode 10.
Episode 10. So we're like partially halfway through the season. So both of these episodes for Buffy and Angel feel like they're like I thought last episode of Angel, just to say, I thought that cliffhanger was going to be the big one. This one was the big one.
Now, I mean, they're going hard on Angel.
And this one is I guess last week's episode of Buffy was a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah, that was also kind of a cliff. I thought that Joyce was dying. I thought that was the end of Joyce.
Yeah, they made it look like it. And he tried to make it the beginning look like it too.
Yeah.
And then this ending today, it's like, what?
Well, it is roughly like a month between last episode and this episode.
You know what it is?
Original air dates.
Did this air near the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last episode was November 28th. This one's December 19th.
Yeah. So they're going on the Christmas, New Year's break. So this is the big one before the comeback. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this episode opens up with recaps of Riley not feeling the love from Buffy. And the Joyce tumor one, Joyce is getting her operation. And also, and I got to address this. Whenever they do the Spike dream sequence love thing, whenever he does that wake up, it pisses me off so much. I hate how that sounds. And they do it nonstop. It's in every recap.
Does it piss you off because because of the sound effect, or because he sounds like he's breathing and we know they don't breathe?
Mainly the sound.
Okay.
It's just like, it's so loud and no one wakes up. It was just so annoying. I don't know. It just bothers me.
That's a very...
we're already into nitpicks.
Why does he wake up like that? No one wakes up like that. I met multiple vampires.
All right. A little side rant aside. Hate that sound. But anyway, so the episode opens up with Buffy at the hospital with Dawn and Riley, and Dawn is asleep on Buffy's lap, and Riley's there. He's kind of comforting, and then Giles shows up, and he's like, "Hey, Buffy, do you need anything?" And Buffy's like, "No." And Willow and Xander there too. They're all nervous. They're like, "Hey, what time is it?" And Xander's like, "Yeah, there's a clock right behind you." Willow's like, "Oh, you got a watch on. Why don't you just tell me what time it is?" Everyone's nervous because they're all worried about Joyce. So then the doctor shows up, and he gives Buffy a long pause as he's walking down the hallway, and Buffy's just there twiddling her thumbs, all nervous. Doctor says, hey, your mom's in recovery. Everything was great. All of the tumor was able to be removed. I could see all of it. So your mom's going to be just fine. I would classify this surgery as a complete success. And then everybody does some celebratory hugs, except for Xander and Giles, who just shake hands, which I thought was a nice little touch.
Love their awkward relationship. A lot of awkward hugs in this.
Yeah.
And it was played perfectly because it was all silent. So all you hear is like the fabric rustling. It is so awkward.
Dude, it's like that meme. Have you seen that meme of High School Musical if it didn't have music and like what it would actually sound like?
Yeah, it's just like...
Yeah, and just hear like...
Yeah.
I fucking love that meme, dude. But yeah, Joyce is not a goner like I thought. Like, it really looked that way, dude.
They definitely did the farewell TV show shot.
I will remember you. Joyce on her gurney waving goodbye.
She was waving. She waved her way into surgery.
The whole cast watching her off. But nope, complete success. Hopefully it's that 33% where she's going to be A-okay. Yeah. So then we have Dawn going over to Xander's apartment, which this is the first time we see Xander's apartment in a while. Mm-hmm. Dude, his apartment is fucking sick, dude.
Dude, that place is really nice.
It's awesome.
He was complaining about how low he had it for, and he's doing better. I don't know. This is just an advertisement to not go to college.
Right? I mean, that apartment is so awesome. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And the couches that he's got, like
those couches are there too.
I know. I didn't recognize them. I remember that was a thing where I was like, what? But
he's got two bedrooms
all
in
the way around it goes all the way around the room. It's like a U-shaped couch. Like that's like so much money. I'm looking at couches right now.
Couches are expensive.
They're so fucking expensive, dude. But
the boys are broke.
Yeah. We should set up a Cash App or something.
Like, look at that fridge had all those groceries in it.
They can afford to eat Chinese food.
They were going to eat Chinese food and go to a movie?
Yeah. But yeah, so Dawn's there with Anya and Xander, and Dawn's telling a story about how one time she shoved chopsticks in her mouth like a walrus, and she was chasing Buffy around the house. Like, Slayer, I'm coming to eat you. And Anya's like, oh, wow, you are disturbed and emotionally scarred, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you have it flipped. The Slayer was chasing her around, saying that she was a Slayer. Yeah.
But
yeah, Anya in this is really sprinkling on the Anya heavy.
Oh, yeah, she is.
And I wasn't sure where that was going to go this episode. And I was shocked where it landed.
I want to say, I don't understand the timeline of what Dawn, like, how. So Dawn is 14, right?
Yeah.
Buffy's like 19?
Oh, you mean the timeline of when she found out that Buffy was
the Slayer? Yeah.
Don't rack your brain over that, because all of these memories are fake.
Yeah. Okay. So they are like, don't worry, I won't. There you go, people that think that we nitpick. I'm not going to do it. So they're trying to figure out what to do with their night after they're done with their Chinese food. And Anya's like, we could play life again. And they're like, nah, I don't really want to do that. You always win. And she's like, all right, cool. Xander's like, we could go see a movie. And like, oh, okay, what movie you want to see? And it's like, let's not see anything too emotionally heavy, because we've been going through some emotionally heavy shit recently. And Anya sees a movie about a chimp playing hockey, and she really fucking wants to see that movie.
Yeah.
I would want to see that movie too.
I don't know if I would want to see that movie, but I mean, I could see.
Those movies are classic. Air Bud. You kidding me?
And should we do an Air Bud for Boys Watching Buffy?
We should do every Air Bud. There's like 90 Air Bud movies. It's like the Land Before Time.
I only want the basketball one because he's at the four.
Doesn't say in the rules that dogs can't play basketball.
That and football. Soccer would probably be fun too. I don't know. I haven't watched
the Golden Receiver. Air Bud the Golden Receiver.
How is he catching the football?
Who knows, dude? We'll have to watch it to find out. But they're like, I don't really know, but we all know that Buffy is the only reason Dawn is there is so Buffy and Riley can fuck. Or as Dawn says, boink.
Yep. And that is the beginning of the awkwardness.
Yeah. And Xander is like, I know. I mean, they probably just want to like chill out together. And Dawn's like, no, anytime they want me gone, it's because they want to get sloppy with each other. And then Anya's like, does that mean that we can't do it, Xander? It's like, oh God.
Yeah. She still hasn't figured out like social graces, which we have brought up. She's been around people for a long time. Yeah. She should know how they work.
Yes. To better like manipulate them at least, you know?
Yeah. Make a wish. Make a wish. That's all she knows about people.
I also love boink. That's such a... I haven't heard boink in forever.
It's of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember in Road Trip, that movie with Tom Green and Sean William Scott. There's a scene where like this really skinny... DJ Qualls, that's his name. He has sex with this really large woman and he pulls out her underwear and they're like, oh my God, did you kill a cheetah? Because it's leopard print.
Yeah.
He's like, no, dude, I boinked her. And they're like, boink? Oh,
your favorite
boink
movie
is so great. Dude, I fucking love Road Trip.
I know you talk about it a lot.
I got my DVD signed by Tom Green when I did a comedy festival with him.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Super nice guy.
Yeah, that's I was talking to someone about him recently, oddly enough.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go to Buffy and Riley slow dancing at their house, and Buffy's like, oh my God, I feel so relaxed. It's like the weight of the world is off my shoulders. And it's like, there's still that glory lady.
I was thinking that too. And I just want to paint the scene real quick. It has...
Go for it.
There are so many candles lit in the living room. It reminded me of when Willow tried to seduce Oz to sleep with her for the first time. And she had Barry White playing. And she had like candles everywhere. Like they're slow dancing in the living room with candles everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like mom just getting in recovery from tumor is not the like horniest romantic mood.
No.
Like they're like, oh, she's good now. Like I don't know. And
we gotta fuck.
And for 20s, this seems like late 30s, like I'm a proposed lighting or something. Like parents having a night out for once. Like not 20s. Hey, let's light some candles and slow dance in the living room.
Well, how long have they been dating? For like a year, maybe?
Yeah, probably a year. Yeah.
Tumultuous year.
Yeah. How long was Joyce in the hospital with the tumor thing? How long have they been stressing?
I think 3 days. 3-4 days.
Like, I haven't seen you forever. Yeah.
But yeah, Buffy is so relieved that her mom is doing good. She's on the mend. She's gonna be fine. Then they smooch, and then Riley's like, I want tonight to be really, really special for you. I know you've been going through it. And it's like crazy because like, you know, you've been so powerful through this whole thing. Like I haven't even seen you cry. And Buffy's like, oh, I cried. I cried so hard. I didn't know if I would ever stop crying. And then she just like leans in and hugs Riley. And then Riley has this look on his face like, huh. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's really hurt that she didn't cry in front of him.
Yeah.
And I get what they're going for here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
But she does say that she's happy to be there with him.
Yeah.
And then they bang.
This is the most awkward transition. There's a lot of awkward things in this. There's an awkward run later. There's awkward... the transition to them sleeping together is so abrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this trouble in paradise moment with Riley, and then, but I'm happy to be here with you. You're so nice. You're so special. And then dissolve into banging.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that seems gross for some reason.
Yeah.
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 It wasn't like, what you always get where people are arguing and they're heated with each other and then they kiss.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was like the opposite of that. It's like, oh, God, my life is falling apart. Doom, 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 doom. What? How did that awkward hug transition into sex? But yeah.
Well, speaking of awkwardness, so they're banging, and Spike is outside the window. He's smoking cigarettes, looking up at the window like, I know what's going on up there, and it sucks.
Has no one said, hey, there's a guy that's been standing out your window like every night? Like, he's on a residential street.
Yeah.
With his just bleach blonde hair, his jacket. Man.
Smoking cigs, just leaving the butts on their lawn.
Oh, man.
I guess he's gotten better about that after he got caught.
I don't know. He wasn't there to see the butts. Get her spot him. Yeah. I don't know.
So after they're done banging, Buffy turns over to go to sleep, and Riley's just up, and he's like, okay, well, she's off to dreamland. It's time for me to do my little sneak. So he sneaks off, and Spike is there. He's watching, and he's like behind. He's not even behind a tree. He's just like out in the open.
Well, we don't see when he comes out if he ducked behind a tree or not. But yeah, I mean, the fact that he's just following him on an open street,
dude,
you would think Riley's like military training. Or just living in Sunnydale where you just turn 360 every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, so Riley leaves the Summers house, and then Spike's like, this is interesting. Where's he going? And starts following him. And there's one moment where Riley turns a corner, and then Spike is like 4 feet behind him. Like he's like hiding behind the mailbox. He's so close to Riley. Like, how is he so unaware that Specimen 17 is like not breathing down his neck because he doesn't breathe?
You know what I thought about? Does Riley come back after this and then sneak back into the house? Or does Buffy wake up and Riley's just not there?
He has to come back. He's got to come back. Well, how does he get back in? Does he have a key?
I'm sure he has a key. He came in there when Spike was in there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And anybody can break into Buffy's house if you're a vampire or if you're not a vampire. True. Yeah, so I guess he goes there and then comes back, and Buffy did not wake up.
Yeah. Well, didn't get up to go pee in the middle of the night.
No. Hey, she's lucky. She's young. She's young.
True. True. But Riley goes to the warehouse that we saw him at in the last episode, getting sucked off. So then we go to the hospital, and Joyce is at least consistent about this. So she's there. She's got her like bandage, and she's consistent. Gonna bring up that hair. She's like, man, is my hair gonna look stupid? Joyce is a catty bitch about hair, I guess.
She's got decent hair. She's got good hair. I never really paid attention. Great hair. I never really paid attention to it until she wanted that conditioner.
Yeah. But Buffy's like trying to help her pick out a wig.
Where did those wigs come from?
I have no idea.
When did they go wig shopping?
I don't know. Maybe Spike made it, he like foraged it from a dumpster or whatever.
Does Giles have a connection with the wig shop because he works at a magic shop? Is that like, has he got a convention that he goes to?
But Buffy is there, and she's like, nah, Mom, we're going to get you a good looking wig. You're going to look just fine. Don't you worry about it. I'm just happy that you're fully recovering. And then Joyce is like, all right, well, that's nice. You don't have to stay here with me, though. Like, I know you've been missing school. And Buffy's like, yeah, I have. I've been really missing school. And I'm going to have to retake some classes.
Also, in this world, it's near the holidays, so school will be out.
Yeah. But Joyce is like, you know what? I just don't want you to stay here all the time and be cramped up and cooped up with me. Like, I want you to go out and you have fun. And Buffy's like, I already told everybody that I'm staying here with you, dude. Like, you're my mom. You just had brain tumor surgery. I think they'll understand.
They act like it's irrational that she would spend the day with her mom. And where's Dawn?
Yeah, Dawn's at school.
Dawn's at school, yeah.
She can't get that homework. She doesn't have a Willow delivering her yo-yos and homework.
Yep.
So the main point of this, Buffy's just good. Like, I'm going to stick around and stay here with you, Joyce. And so then we go to the next scene.
No, like this scene, they talk about Riley. The point of the scene is like, oh, you should spend time with Riley. And then she's like, oh, Riley will come by later. And then they do like, Buffy's really...
decided to give him some time off.
Yeah.
And Joyce is like, it's not like a job that he has to like punch into.
And then she's like, oh no, I'm sure like when I come home later, Riley will come by and for some Bible study. Because consistently, Buffy is bad at excuses. She cannot make up an excuse, even though that's 90% of her life is making up excuses. And then the mom is like, okay, cool, as long as you're having some Bible study. They're like,
Bible study, wink, wink, wink.
Like, we've never looked at a Bible a day in our life. I would be like, Buffy, does God exist? Like, you be fighting the devil. Like, what's...
She should be doing some Bible study. She's gone to hell.
Jesus exists in this world if crucifixes work, right? We bring that up all the time.
I mean, Riley does go to church. We saw it.
Riley does go to church. You're right. Yeah.
He's a church-going, corn-fed Iowa boy.
Oh, man. Not what Buffy and him be doing.
No, God's looking down on that, and he's like, what the hell?
Everyone always just skips over that premarital sex thing in the Bible. They're like,
it's because Jesus will forgive. Jesus will
forgive that. Yeah.
He'll forgive. So the next scene is my boy Graham and General Ellis. They're looking over a map. I thought it was General Ellis. I said Major Ellis last time.
You said General Ellis last time, and I said Major.
Oh,
I have it written down in my notes, so
I could have swore I was listening to it at the gym yesterday.
Nope, you said General and I said Major.
Hot damn!
I'm 99.9% sure of that.
All right. So they're looking over a map and they're like, "Oh man, we got a bunch of activity going on. We need to get more men. We need to recruit some stuff." And then Graham is like, Superior Ellis.
I can't believe we just skipped over the fact that you're listening to this podcast at the gym.
Yeah, man, I'm getting fucking huge to my voice.
Gross.
I gotta fucking see what we said. See, I don't remember anything after we record.
True, same.
As soon as this record button stops, I'm like, what did we just talk about? What were our predictions from last week?
All right, well, yeah. And it's funny because then you still got that wrong.
I don't think I did.
Right. I'm pretty sure.
But Graham wants Riley on the team again. He's like, hey, I got this guy. You know who would be good for this mission? Riley Finn. And Ellis is like, why are you so hung up on this guy? Did you guys like date or something?
Yeah. Like, they're like, we have the whole country worth of people and military people to bring in. Why is this guy?
Yeah, he doesn't even have like the chip anymore. Like, there's nothing special about this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's not integral to the Atom mission. Like,
it was nice that it was nice that they showed him being useful last episode.
Yeah, but with the gaminoids and the protein alkaloids.
Yeah.
But Graham is like, I really think we should have him on the team, but it might take some convincing. And Ellis goes, oh, why? What's he got in Sunnydale that's so special? And then we cut to Buffy soundly sleeping.
I would love if Graham was like, wait, so you don't know what a Slayer is either. Okay. Good.
So Buffy's sleeping in her room, and Spike comes into the room. And Buffy wakes up. And she's like, Spike, what the fuck are you doing in here? And he's like, I got something to show you. Come on, get up. Let's go. And Buffy's like, well, you gotta leave the room. And Spike's like, oh shit, are you naked? And Buffy's like, don't fucking worry about it. Just leave. Turn around. And Spike's like, as if I'd want to see you naked. Just the tent in his pants growing larger.
he turns the camera, and it'd be great if he did that thing where they like bite their knuckle. You know?
I thought he was gonna like try and look for a mirror or something to like spy.
The thing that I thought in the scene is that Spike goes, "Hey, I gotta show you something. Come with me." Mm-hmm. Don't follow him with secret like stuff like that. Like he's being so cagey about his info. Like he snuck into your bedroom and said, "Follow me. I have something to show you." No, get more info, Buffy.
Yeah. So, but Buffy is like, all right, I trust this guy.
I trust this guy
that just broke into my house,
who patted my back,
watching me sleep,
holding a shotgun.
So they're walking to the warehouse, and like as if his like caginess and lack of information wasn't obvious enough. They're walking. He's like directing her with just head nods.
Yeah,
and it's so annoying. It's like, just fucking show her.
And then he walks in, and she's in front of him, and he's behind her. I'm like, never let a vampire be behind you.
Yeah, even if he's got a chip, you don't know if he got the chip removed.
Yeah.
But anyway, he takes her to the warehouse that, I mean, I have in my notes here, it is like a crack den, like Vance said.
No, but I was going to say it's definitely more pimp whore out metaphor, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what Buffy says later on.
And then
but
stuff that Riley says and stuff that Spike says later.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it has the crack den vibe and look. But like you brought up the question last episode, is Riley cheating?
Oh, and boy, did we get the answer to that.
This is 100% cheating.
So Spike and Buffy go upstairs, and one vampire grabs Spike. She's like, hey, you're not allowed to go up there. He's like, why? Fucking get off of me.
Spike's like, I'm stronger than you for some reason.
Yeah.
Because vampire hierarchies.
So they go upstairs, and they open the door, and Buffy gets a peep of Riley getting his suck job. And Riley's sitting there, and he is literally instructing the vampire, harder. Oh, harder. I was like, damn, dude.
What? Like, how did he find this place?
I have no idea. Apparently, they've existed for centuries.
I guess he must have asked someone at Willie's place.
Oh, yeah, he does frequent that vampire bar quite often.
Yeah, and then he got bit by Sandy. Yeah. And then Sandy, that bite must have been like, ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
And Buffy doesn't ask any question about him having a bandage over his arm. Because he has it during their like sex scene and when he leaves.
Oh, he does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But
he's
Riley
got like massive puncture wounds.
Well, he's wearing turtlenecks all the time now because he's he's still reeling from the Sandy.
But when he gets out of bed to sneak out of the house, I noticed it on his arm.
Okay. That's good consistency.
Yeah. You would think she would ask, like, what the fuck happened to your arm, dude?
I just gave blood the other day.
Fighting. Patrol.
Shh. Let's make sweet like. Because I know you don't love me.
Never says it.
Yeah. So Riley looks up and he sees Buffy and he's like, oh shit. Buffy runs off and Spike hits him with the, we only came here because we care about you, friend. You need help.
That smirk was so good.
Yeah. It was so awesome. And then Riley just chucks this vampire off of him.
Yeah.
Puts a shirt on, he starts chasing Buffy and Buffy runs out, Spike runs after her and he's like, I just thought that you should know. And Buffy is pissed, and she just runs off. And Spike gives a look like, "What? You're not going to suck my dick now? Like, I thought why are you mad at me?
I thought she was going to punch
the
the shit out of Spike for knowing like he did this to break him up or whatever. But then Buffy runs away, and it's the most awkward run I think I've ever seen her do.
Buffy's got bad runs, dude.
It's normally like a lot of arm pumping and like very straight up and down. This one was like staggery. I wasn't sure if it was actually her or like they just had to do a body double thing for a runaway shot, you know?
Most of the time when she's running, I've always chalked it up to like
shoes.
She's running in boots. Yeah, like she's always got like heels on and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I could see how that could be awkward. But like this, she's wearing sneakers in this. There's no excuse for these.
She does something later where I was like very worried for her.
Yeah.
Like I was like curious to look at the trivia to see if what I was thinking actually happened.
But Riley comes running downstairs and he gets accosted by a vampire and he's like, "Was that the Slayer? Why would you bring the Slayer here?" And then Riley's like, "I didn't know that they were going to come to this thing." And then he's like, the vampire's like, "Well, now no one's going to come to this place now that they know that the Slayer is here and they know what's going on." And Riley kind of gets beat up.
Oh, he just punches the guy and runs off.
Yeah.
I thought Riley was going to be like in real trouble at that point because he's in a house full of vampires.
Yeah.
But apparently the vampires who are sucking the blood don't have more energy. They're more lethargic, like they're doing drugs.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting paid to suck blood, you shouldn't be like the vampire that's sucking Riley's blood looks like she's like on heroin, right?
Yeah.
But why? Like, I get that they want it to look like that, but a vampire that's constantly drinking blood would be healthy.
Yeah, it seems like a nightly ordeal.
Yeah, it's like she shouldn't be like, oh my God, strung out, losing a fang. But, so they kind of trying to do like both. They're trying to do the drug thing and the prostitute thing. But yeah.
Losing a fang. That's worse. But Buffy runs back home and her world is shaken. She can't believe what's going on. Riley goes back to his apartment.
Oh, Buffy's wondering if she needs to get tested or not. That's what she's thinking.
Oh, God.
I can see Willow making that joke.
I could see Xander making that joke.
Xander doesn't care about safe sex. Willow would care.
Yeah, that's true. Riley comes home. It's all dark. He's stumbling through his apartment, and he turns the lights on, and the military guys are there waiting for him. Graham and Ellis. And he doesn't even look at them. He goes, "What do you want? Get out." And they're like, we got a code 1 in Belize. We got a mission in Belize. There's a demon tribe taking over, and they are trying to terminate this.
They're taking apart missionaries in the rainforest.
Yeah, they need to go down and they need to terminate it. And it's real simple. And Riley's like, "I'm not into this shit anymore. I don't do this. I'm not an agent. I'm not military. I'm out. I left that world." And the guy's like, "Hey, this isn't the initiative, all right? This is the army. We don't do any of that research bullshit, that nerd shit. We just go, we kill the demons, and we leave. It's the real deal." And then, as if to sweeten the pot, he says it's high risk, low pay.
That's kind of like, it's like the beginning of every Expendables movie. You know,
yeah.
Like, hey, I do like it's like, hey man, you're a soldier. That's all you're ever going to be. You got nothing. Yeah. And it happens right after, like perfect timing for them to show up right after what he's just been through. And they're like, "What are you sticking around here for? Fighting vampires because this is the place where most of the demon activity happens, and we're not doing anything about it."
But they ship out tomorrow at midnight, and Riley's like, "I don't know, man. I don't think this is really for me. I don't think I do the military stuff anymore." And Ellis is like, "Oh yeah, because civilian life is really working out for you." It's like, ouch. Just getting suck jobs in a crack den.
Yeah. He's like, is there a vampire cracked in Belize? If it seems like something you can't just quit overnight.
No, you can't go cold turkey on suck jobs.
I mean, he couldn't go that night without it. He had to sneak out.
Yeah, he snuck out from his girlfriend that he loves to get a fix. He's jonesing for that bloodletting.
Yeah, it's definitely a mixture between prostitution and drugs, you know?
Yeah. Well, he was on drugs, the initiative.
And that went away quick. Oh, yeah, he is good at kicking drug habit. Yeah.
He can kick it.
Yeah.
He can kick it.
He's like, I kicked the initiative drugs, I can kick the vampire high.
Yeah. So then we go over to the magic box, and Giles is trying to sell some Christmas stuff. He's got Christmas sales going on, I guess. And
it was a Kwanzaa, and they have a full banner with every holiday.
Yeah. Hanukkah. They have a surplus of chicken feet. And
why do they sell chicken feet?
I don't know, but you can actually just get chicken feet at like a grocery store.
Yeah, like people eat chicken feet. Like you can buy them at like a butcher shop or something, and I'm sure there's the same amount of wings as there are chicken feet, you know, per chicken. Mm-hmm. So they're plentiful. I just don't know why they're selling them and then making fun of Anya about like giving one away free with a purchase. They're like, oh, no one wants the chicken feet. I'm like, then why are you selling them?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the chicken feet aren't moving. Nobody wants the chicken feet.
Nobody wants the chicken feet, but I don't get it. Yeah.
But Anya's like, yeah, we should just give them away. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's a really good business plan. Give away our valuable chicken feet. Anya's like, what's it?
Well, yeah, they think people don't want them. But I'm like, why are you going to sell them? Just give them away. Like, what? I thought they were going to be like, oh, they're really useful for some spell or something. Yeah. But, yeah.
So then Anya goes on and talk about how she's been good for the store. And without Anya, Giles is just a bumbling, dumb dipshit that has no idea how to run a store. And Giles is like, hey, dude.
He's like, hey. But it also seems like he's like, I also would not know how to do this.
And then Willow is like, hey, he's useful. And Anya basically sasses Willow for being useless.
And then Xander's like, well, you get paid to be here. She's volunteering. Yeah. And it seems like Anya's really upset about them talking about her behind the back. Oh, make fun of the demon who doesn't understand human stuff. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting dynamic that we're getting into. I wasn't really sure where this was going to go. And like I said earlier, it didn't go where I thought it was going to go. But yeah.
So then Anya's mad at Xander for sticking up for Willow. And she's like, are you serious? You're going to stick up for Willow? I'm the one that cooks for you, cleans for you, bathes you. And then everybody is just like, she bathes you? And Xander's like, only in a sexy way, not like in a invalid way or whatever. So then Buffy comes storming in. She basically kicked the door down. She comes storming in. Everyone's like, hey, what's up, Buffy? And she's like, hey, I need to learn about there's a vampire nest downtown. We need to figure it out. I saw people there. Just people. Nobody in particular. But I saw people there and they're getting bitten. And it's like a symbiotic relationship, it looks like. And everyone... And I don't know, like, I need more information about that. And Anya's like, oh, yeah, that's been going on for centuries.
Yeah,
people...
Yeah.
Well, you exactly predicted it or talked about it. It's like, yeah, people get off on the rush of getting bitten and, like, the danger of it. And vampires like it because they get paid. They get paid to suck these people off. They get cash, blood, and then no corpses left behind so they don't get hunted. And I was like, that's an interesting wrinkle to this.
It's a great business plan. Like,
yeah, it's a good bit of lore.
No one's getting hurt by this, and then it has that drug thing where sometimes, you get a bad vampire that backs out of the deal or just like kind of cheats you and actually kills you or like gets too excited and kills you. So it's kind of like ODing basically. But in a way, it seems like the most beneficial way.
It's pretty humane, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like, I mean, otherwise they're just killing people in the street and then walking away. So,
yeah. So Giles is like, oh, yeah, all that's true. And Buffy's like, are you serious? Giles, how come you never told me about this? How come nobody ever told me about this? And Giles is like, I mean, I haven't seen it since my Ripper days. I didn't know what was happening here in Sunnydale. It's...
Like, so when you were Ripper, you were going to these places? Like, what is that? Yeah.
But Buffy's like, all right, well, I'm going to go there and I'm going to fucking kill all these vampires. And Giles is like, hey, don't you have more important things to worry about? Like, we don't know anything about Glory, for instance. Maybe we should focus on that.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, now I'm going to go torch this crack den.
Because I was like, yes, I'm so happy he brought up Glory. I was happy that Anya was useful because she has information because she's been around 1,000 years. So she knows a lot about the demon world. You would think she would know enough about people, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, Giles bringing up Glory was a huge one. Just at least like say, hey, this thing is still after you and your sister.
Yeah. I bring up Glory. Also, hey, isn't your mom still in the hospital?
Yeah. Wasn't there a demon a demon queller trying to kill her last time? You think we want to like put a guard?
Didn't she get a bunch of slime spat in her face yesterday?
I still think that Joy should have gone to the initiative military guys, doctors.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
But yeah.
But anyway, so Buffy's like, I'm going to go to the fucking vampire den with or without you guys. Everyone's like, dude, what's up? Like, what's the rush? Why are we doing this? Like, and Buffy's like, I'm going. I don't care if you guys come, but I'm going. And so they're like, all right, well, I guess we'll fucking all go.
They all weapon up from the weapons chest. Is the weapon chest something if you were walking through the store, you could open and then just buy?
Yeah, I was going to say, is that for sale?
Yeah.
Used weapons.
It is amazing that Willow, Xander, like, remember earlier in this show where Buffy would be like, hey guys, I don't want you guys to come with me. I want everyone to be safe.
Yeah.
And now they're just like, yeah, we're walking into a den. Everyone weapon up. You man the store.
So that's exactly what they do. They go walking on down to the crack den and there's nobody there. And Buffy's pissed. She's like, what the fuck? There was a bunch of vampires here last night. And they're like, well, maybe they left because they saw that you were around, or like, it's the daytime. Like, they're not going to be chilling in the same spot. And Buffy just like throws a grill and starts a fire.
Hazardous as fuck.
Yeah, like that could burn down a neighborhood, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know like what's surrounding this place, but there's probably like another warehouse attached to it where just like honest, good people work.
Yeah, I was like, are you guys going to call the fire department or anything? Like, this is a problem.
But yeah, and then everybody kind of looks around like, Jesus, what the fuck is all this?
What the fuck's going on over there? What's that over there?
So then we go over to Spike drinking alone in his crypt and Riley shows up and Riley's pissed. And Spike is like, whoa, what are you doing there, buddy?
He's like, what took you so long? And I'm like, Spike, yeah, you're smart. You should know that this is coming. Yeah. This guy's unhinged, dude. You should move.
Yeah. And so he shoves Spike up against the wall. He's got a big old stake and he's threatening Spike. And Spike's like, whoa, don't do this. Don't kill the messenger. I just showed Buffy like what you were doing. Like, you're the one that's actually doing shit. Please don't kill me. You don't kill the messenger. And then Riley goes, why the hell not? And then just stakes him right in the heart. Cut to commercial. And I was like,
yeah,
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Now, during this break, you knew Spike wasn't dead, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think it was? Did you think he missed the heart by a little bit?
I think that he missed the heart. And then there was also a little bit of me that was like, does the chip make him immortal?
Yes. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, and which is so dumb because I was thinking the same thing. Oh, he got stabbed in the heart, but that won't kill him because somehow this chip does something different. But like you always bring up, stabbing anyone in the heart would kill him. Yeah, that is so interesting. Vampires can just stab through the heart with anything as long as it's not wood.
Yeah, because we come back from commercial break. Riley pulls the stake out of Spike's heart, and Spike's looking down like, how come I'm not dead? And Riley goes, 'cause it's plastic. Looks real though, doesn't it? And Spike's like, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good trick there, buddy.
Two things. One was, why did he just not kill him?
Dude, we
yeah, that's one. Two, how long did he work on getting a plastic wood grain stake that was sharp enough that you could jam through someone's chest? Like, did he go to a specialty shop for this? Like, you don't have that lying around.
Yeah, and what purpose would that have aside from this exact very specifics, just to make Spike shit his pants? Why have it?
Just kill Spike.
Yes. Again.
Yeah.
Love Spike.
And I love this scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
Great scene. But yeah.
So Riley's like, I gotta just talk to you because I know that you are in love with Buffy. And Spike is like, what? No, I'm not. And Riley's like, you sure about that? And Spike's like, all right, you right. I am. I do got the hots for you, girl. And then Riley's like, well, stay away from her. And Spike is like, Riley, dude, just give it up, dude. You know you can't hold on to her. You know that you're not the long haul guy. You are too bread. You're too milk. And she needs a little bit of monster in her, man. And that's just not in your nature. No matter how many suck jobs you go off and do, no matter how much darkness you try to play in, you're still Iowa corn milk bread. And Riley's like, well, yeah, kind of. But I mean, do you actually think that you've got a shot with her? And Spike's like, no, I don't. But fellas gotta try, you know?
He tosses a little whiskey.
Yeah, they start drinking together. Then Riley goes, if you touch her, I'll kill you for real. And Spike goes, if I had this chip out of my head, you would have been dead long ago.
Exactly.
Then they just start drinking together. And then Spike goes on this he's like, you know what? I don't even know how to feel about you, dude. I hate you and I'm jealous of you. And I don't know who has the better deal right now. Because you're with her all the time and you get to be alone with her and you get to have sex with her. But you know that it's not real and you know that she doesn't love you. And that has to be tearing you apart. It must suck to hold her in your arms and know that you are completely alone. And I was like, fucking goddamn, dude.
Yeah.
That's hard. And Riley's just sitting there with the whiskey bottle damn.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's worse, being close to her but not have her, you know?
Yeah.
So hard. And then the scene ends with Spike is like, no, you definitely have it better. Because Spike is talking about being close to Buffy and really getting in his feels, you know? Yeah. And then Riley's sitting there drinking. He's like, I'm the lucky guy. Yeah. I'm the guy. And it's oof.
Yeah,
oof, oof. It's just, dating a Slayer's hard, man.
Yeah. Hey, dating is hard. That was my old podcast. I don't even know if that's still up on Apple Podcasts anymore.
Did you ever cover any vampire human relationships in that?
Funnily enough, no.
No. All right.
Lots of other stuff.
And now I see why that podcast doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it kind of failed. Didn't have any Patreon. Didn't have anybody saying
there's a key demographic you just left out of that one.
This episode is brought to you by National Geographic, presenting its new documentary film, Endurance. Follow the greatest survival story ever told, unpacking the legendary feat of polar explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton, who kept his crew alive for over a year, despite losing their ship in frigid pack ice. Over a century later, a team of modern-day explorers set out to find the sunken ship. Endurance, now streaming on Hulu and Disney+.
This episode is brought to you by Etsy.
Oh.
Hear that?
Okay. Thank you.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Well, not the ones you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight. Happy tears.
How did you?
And spontaneously written songs of joy.
I am so happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, the song needs a bit of work, but anyway, to get those reactions, make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, handpicked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy. Gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all of your favorite people and their specific kind of special. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
Yeah. So then we go to Buffy in the training room and she's boxing. She's hitting the heavy bag. She's wailing on it, doing her little,
Now, this is where I was worried for Buffy / Sarah Michelle Gellar. Her hands are not, they do not look locked enough for punching that heavy bag. I thought she was going to break her wrist.
Also only one of her hands are wrapped.
And then
she would definitely have bloody knuckles.
Well, I'm sure when they cut to the second angle, you see she's kind of doing like back slaps on the heavy bag. If you haven't punched a heavy bag, it hurts.
It's heavy.
It's heavy,
as the name implies,
and it works. And it just looked the way she was punching it. I was like, oh, come on, like don't hurt your wrist. Like I was worried about her. I was worried about her.
I've honestly hurt my elbow punching a heavy bag.
Yeah.
It's tough stuff. Hard workout.
Mm-hmm.
But Xander and Anya, they're in the actual shop, and they're like, I'm a little concerned about Buffy. She's been wailing on that heavy bag for what seems like hours, and she's acting kind of crazy. And they're like, all right, well, it's probably best to just like leave her be, and like we'll figure it out. So then Riley shows up, and he's like, Buffy back there? They're like, yeah, she's been back there for a while, man. She's been wailing on a heavy bag. And Riley's like, can you guys leave? Because I need to talk to her. And then Anya's like, oh, you gonna go out in there and go bang in the training room? I've been there, done that. We could give you some pointers. And Xander's like, not now.
Yeah.
Then Anya's
you can't
like,
take Anya anywhere, man.
I know. So as Anya and Xander are leaving, Anya's like, well, now that we got on the topic of having sex, Xander, you want to go home and have some sex? And then Xander says, no, I've got some stuff to take care of. And I was like, what does that mean?
I, at this point, was like, oh, Xander's growing a little frustrated with Anya's act or her, like, just being super inappropriate at inappropriate times. That's what I took from this scene. It's not exactly what it is. You thought he was going to go to the suck job place, too?
Well, no, I didn't think that.
He's like, I got to find that new suck job place. I didn't know there was one in town.
Yeah, Buffy took me to the suck job place. Got me very interested.
When I was 10, my dad took me to a suck.
I was just like, what is he going to do? What work does he have to take care of? Like,
I thought he just didn't want to be around her because she was just like being too annoying. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so Anya's sad. They leave. Riley goes to the back to talk to Buffy. He's like, Buffy, we got to talk. And Buffy's like, I don't want to talk. And then she's like, nothing that you say is going to make me feel better. And then Riley's like, we need to talk about this now, or like, we just can't like keep letting all this shit fester, all right? And Buffy's like, well, what do you have to say to me? And he basically is like, dude, you don't love me. Like, and I can't really do things for you. Like the way that I see you with vampires, like the way that like Angel made you go crazy, and the way that when Dracula bit you, like
I had forgotten about the Dracula biting her because it didn't hit me that he was like so jealous about it. It almost was, that episode had a weird comical feel the whole time. Dracula bit you. See, I knew it. Why are you hiding it underneath that scarf, like handkerchief thing, that neckerchief? And it wasn't like, it didn't feel like he was like hurt because he got bit by a Dracula. It was like everyone took Dracula as a joke that whole episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, he was basically just like, I'm jealous of all these vampires. Like, I can't be a vampire. Like, I'm not a vampire. Like, they all have this insane power over you. They have this like, you're like under their spell, kind of, I guess. And she's like, oh yeah? Well, you fucking went to a vampire crack den whorehouse type of deal. And you, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you, what are they giving you that I can't provide you? Like, what is this? And Riley's like, well, because the vampires made me feel something. Like, I was like, Jesus, dude, this is getting crazy.
I was like, and there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, Buffy calls the vampires whores.
Yep.
And yeah, she's like, what are they giving you that I can't? And Riley says, they needed me. That's what they're giving me. All right. They need my blood. They need that. You don't need me. Like, it's crazy. And Riley and Riley gives the quote, it wasn't real. It's just physical. And I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely cheating.
Definitely cheating. And I wrote in my note, it is more blowjob than drug use now.
I wrote in my note, it's legit the cheating speech.
Yeah. And then Riley brings up something that I thought was going to happen previously. He's like, oh, you didn't call me when your mom went to the hospital. And I was like,
bro,
like,
what? Yeah.
I mean, just the way that we saw the scene play out, it was like she found out and her mom went to the hospital that night. It was night to night.
Mm-hmm.
And you came by the next morning. There was no, let me call you. And
yeah, he also says like that the vampires have a hunger for him. And Buffy's like, I don't make you feel that way. And Riley is like, I understand how the vampires feel needing me and needing my blood, because that's how I feel when I'm with you, because I need you and you don't need me. And Riley's like, you keep me at a distance. And Buffy, and then he brings up like you didn't even tell me that your mom was in the hospital. And Buffy's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't take care of you and your needs when I thought my mom was dying, which I was like, this is the best point the show has ever made.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that you're not going to win there. And you already lost with the, they made me feel something. I thought he was going to throw out you never say I love you.
I thought that he was too.
I was like, this is the
brings it up.
This is the moment. That's the only card he has to play.
Yeah.
Because she's arguing that she does care about him. And
well, yeah, after she talks about like, sorry I wasn't there to take care of you when my mom was like, I thought my mom was dying. He's like, it's not about that. It's about me taking care of you. Like, I want to be there for you. I want to be let in and I want to take care of you. And then Buffy hits him with oh, you just can't handle that I'm stronger than you.
I liked Riley's retort to that. He's like, yeah, it bothers me sometimes. I was like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
That's honest.
He like took the weight out of that. Like they all have these lines where like, oh, that'll end the argument. And he's like, yeah, no, that's true. That's sometimes true. He's like, oh, I thought it was going to be a bigger deal. I thought he was going to deny it and not get like really hammer it home. They're two alphas that aren't meant to be together in a weird way.
Yeah, they're like magnets, dude.
And it's weird because like her with like Angel, age difference and species vampires difference still somehow works. Her with Spike, I don't get yet.
Yeah, we'll have to let that one play out.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like Riley's too needy.
Mm-hmm.
In a way where like the things that he is good for are like he is like a good guy. He actually can handle himself in a fight. You don't have to worry about him getting like destroyed by vampires like you would with just a normal guy. Like that dude that she was dating in high school for a little bit. Like Scott Hope would have just been
dude, that guy was a dweeb.
It's no way he would have been able to hang with you in this. Like, at least Riley can be like, hey, we're fighting a vampire. I'm going to save you from Dracula's lair. Like,
yeah,
she's gotta be with someone that can at least like throw down. Just life-wise.
I will say that Riley kind of embodies the like traditional, I feel like he's like traditional male gender roles, where he's like, I want to be the provider, protector, like Iowa Midwest kind of guy. And like Buffy's thrown that all through a loop. And like, for as much as Xander gets talked about with toxic masculinity, like this is like him not being able to handle it and trying to handle it, I guess. But he's not handling it well. He's going off and getting suck jobs, you know?
And in this scene, I wrote down that the show at this point, and they do it later, but like this point, like the show doesn't want it to seem like Buffy is as much to blame in this as she is. Because the scenes that we have like Riley talk to Xander, and Riley's like, she doesn't love me, right? Yeah. And then we just had the scene with Spike, and Spike's like, dude, she doesn't love you. Like, everybody sees it. At least all the guys see it in this episode. And it's interesting because we get no Willow in this.
Yeah.
We get no, like, female side of this thing. We never get, like, Buffy talking to Willow, and Willow's being like, well, do you really? Like, it would have been interesting. I don't know if they had an idea for that and it got cut, or if they ever were planning to, but it would seem like you would want to see like the opposite. Like when you were watching Riley and Spike, you would like to see like a scene of like Buffy and Willow or something.
Yeah.
Because I have been missing that too, because those are like old friends, confidants, but now she's in a relationship with Tara, so they don't really have as much. When they come together, it's always more like antagonistic, or like not but it's like quick it's hitters.
Like, Buffy, I'm worried about you.
Yeah, like
that's it for Willow for the rest of the episode.
I feel like it would have been nice to get a female perspective from two female characters talking about this, because all we get is all the guys are like, yeah, Buffy doesn't love you, Riley. And then in this scene, we get Buffy being like, I do, without actually saying it.
Yeah, she says, I gave you my heart and body and soul.
Yeah.
And then Riley goes, you say that, but I don't feel it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, if you're watching it, you're like, are we supposed to believe Buffy actually does love him? But everything we've been like told and kind of seen is like not.
Yeah, well, after Riley's like, well, I don't feel it, Buffy goes, well, whose fault is that? And I was like, dude, this is like a great one-upsmanship, like you were talking about.
It's a great scene of like someone got leverage in the conversation and argument, and then it keeps switching and going back and forth. And Sarah Michelle Gellar is tiny.
Yes, dude.
So small.
Yes.
When Riley's standing next to her at one point, I was like, wow.
Yeah, dude. And Riley's not that, like, Riley's 6'1".
Yeah.
It's not like he's a towering behemoth. Like, he's just like...
Is Sarah Michelle 5'2"?
I think we looked it up before. I think she's 5'3".
Okay.
She's billed as 5'3". She's right.
I don't know. I was like, wow, he's towering over her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into the rest of the scene, do you think Buffy loves Riley?
I'm on the side of the later Xander scene explanation of things, where I think she really, really does care for him, but I think she put up a wall where she can't get too invested.
Yeah, she's trying to protect herself after all of her trauma.
Yeah. Because he's definitely, like, it makes sense that, like, she definitely cares for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's, like, using him necessarily, but in a way you could think that she's using him. If he wants more from her, I mean, that's the problem with the relationship. Like, he just wants more from her, and she's never going to be able to give that more. She wasn't able to give that more to Angel. Like, they always had, like, conflicts. Like, I mean, she can't. That's the nature of the Slayer, too. Like, they're not like, hey, wife and kids, and like, husband and kids, and just, like, live a normal relationship life. Is like, oh, I'm off fighting a demon in hell, like, on Thursday. So I don't know, like, she can't, like, she's watched too many people, like, she had to kill Angel at one point. Like, that's a rough one.
I think I'm like on the side of like there's some really interesting thing in the Xander scene later, but it's one of those situations where I feel like it's someone that you are dating and you like well enough, and there's no reason to break up with them, but there's just something that's not clicking there. And so like when you do break up with them, it feels like insane.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'm going to break up with you. And they're like, why? Everything is good. And it's like, I'd rather be crazy, madly insane in love with somebody, I guess, versus content. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
yeah,
it's interesting. It's a...
I think the dynamics are different too, because Riley is madly in love with her.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, if Riley's at a 10 out of 10, Buffy's at like a, 8 out of 10, like 7.5 out of 10. Like,
And it's like that, it's like How I Met Your Mother, where that guy Mosley is like always trying to like find the love of his life. It's like, hey, you want to just date for a little bit, dude? Like,
now, do you think that Riley would have a better shot at getting Buffy to fall in love with him if he didn't have such terrible fitting leather jackets?
Yeah, they don't work on him. They don't work on him.
They don't. So anyway, after back to the scene. So after Buffy goes, well, where he's like, I don't feel it. Buffy goes, whose fault is that? Riley's like, well, guess what? The military wants me back. And transport leaves tonight. And if we can't work this out, I'm leaving. And Buffy's like, are you giving me an ultimatum right now? Fuck you, dude, which is the right response.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very manipulative move by Riley.
It's manipulative, but I don't know when he was supposed to tell her.
True, he did just find out about it, yeah.
It's not like he had that. He was like, yeah, I signed up for the army 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to leave tomorrow. Like, it was like, they said tonight.
Well, Buffy also is like, how long have you known about this? And Riley never tells her. He never is like, they came yesterday.
Doesn't he? Does he not say? He's like, I think he says, I just found out.
Oh, okay.
I think he just says that, yeah.
But Buffy's like, you are pissing me off so much right now. And Riley's like, what are you going to do? You going to hit me? Go ahead, hit me. And Buffy's like, what? No. And he's like, no, do it. Hit me.
I did not know what that was about.
So. I think that was a little bit of his like self-inflicted punishment, where he's like, come on, please. Like, I deserve this for being, I guess, a dick and getting a suck job.
Yeah. I was like, if Buffy punches and kills him, this show is insane.
I would have loved that.
Yo.
Just punches him and breaks a bunch of bones, and she's like, try and go to the military now.
Ooh, that would have been nice.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, they're never going to let you go to Belize with these fucking cracked ribs, buddy.
You don't heal as fast as a Slayer. And then she does the Jordan shrug and walks away.
But, so then Riley's like, Buffy, I'm leaving unless you give me a reason to stay. And Buffy just walks away from him. And I was like, shit, dude.
No, I don't know. And this is going to be very nitpicky, and this is for a later scene. But how does Buffy know where he's leaving from? Because they do not talk.
I have no idea.
Is there just one helipad in this in Sunnydale? Like, he didn't say, I'm leaving at this place. And yeah. But they get a chance to do their like airport thing.
Yeah. So Buffy, after she walks away from Riley, she's walking alone at night. And she's just like, this has been a fucking day. This has really been a day, huh?
Yeah.
And so the vampires from the warehouse come up from behind her and they surround her. And the lead vampire is like, that was a bad move of you fucking torching our warehouse, crack den. And Buffy's like, you do not want to do this right now. And he's like, I think we do. And then Buffy gets surrounded by, I paused and I counted 8 vampires.
She didn't kill 8 vampires though, did she? Did you see 8 vampires get killed? Did you count the deaths?
I didn't count how many get killed, no. But Buffy's like, dude, I'm telling you, walk away. I'm the vampire slayer, and I'm about to let you live. Walk away. And the guy's like, I'll test my luck. And then Buffy just stakes them all. She has a sick, 3-in-1 combo at one point. And I was like, that is so awesome.
Some vampire tried to grab a sharpened wooden 4x4 and stab Buffy. I'm like, don't use your kryptonite.
She's not a vampire.
You didn't bring a weapon to this?
Oh, God.
They could have gotten away so easily. They had moved.
Yeah. But couldn't leave well enough alone. So she stakes them all, and then she gets to the final one, and it is the vampire that was feeding on Riley. Yeah. And Buffy recognizes this. And she's like, I somehow pity you. And you know what? I don't know what to do about this. And that vampire's like, well, if you're going to hesitate, I'm running.
Yeah.
So that vampire starts running, and Buffy's like, you know what? Wait a minute. Fuck that bitch, and just chucks the 4x4 and just stakes her from the back.
That was great.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it has that dynamic of this poor working girl, drug addict, blood addict, or whatever, who somehow drinking blood makes her look worse. I feel bad for her. Let her go. And I was like, wow, that girl sucking Riley's blood saved her life. And then she gets stabbed. And it's like, yeah, she's still a vampire.
Yeah. I have in my notes, Buffy sees the vampire that fed on Riley and spares her for a second.
That was a great kill, like a straight throw with the...
Oh, dude, she's got some heat on that, too. It was like on
level.
A line.
On a rope, yeah.
Yeah. So after all these vampires get dusted, Xander shows up.
The real hero of the episode.
And he's like, so, that make you feel better?
What a great coming in the alleyway. I don't know where they are.
Yeah, it looked like it was the outside of the Bronze. It's the same place where they had those metal tubes where Riley and Angel were fighting.
Would this be the back alley of the magic shop?
I have no idea.
Where's she coming from at this point? Isn't she coming from?
Yeah, she's coming from the magic shop. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. But Xander's like, that make you feel better? And Buffy's like, Xander, go home. And Xander's like, no, dude, what's up with you? You've been acting fucking crazy lately. I know you've been through a lot, but you need to fucking chill. You're on a rampage. And Buffy's like, Xander, I don't want to fucking talk to you. I don't have time for this. And then she just walks into a random warehouse.
My note just goes, where are they?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what is this room?
Yeah, I was just like, how did you know to just walk? What?
It's a great scene. I was just like, how did they end up here?
Yeah. So they go in there. Xander follows her, and he's like, I'm not going to go home. I want to know what is up? And Buffy's like, you don't know the half of it. And Xander's like, I mean, I know that you and Riley are imploding. Everybody can see that. And Buffy's like, what? And Xander goes, yeah, dude, we all can tell that this isn't going well. And I'm wondering how you didn't see this coming.
I want to bring up the fact that she goes, who told you? And Xander doesn't rat out Riley here.
Yeah.
True bro. He's like, no, we can all tell. He didn't go Riley told me you didn't love him. No.
But
I was like, that's good. That's good. Good friend.
Good character development.
Xander's got some usefulness.
Yeah. So Buffy's like, what are you talking about? Xander's like, dude, can't you see this? Riley would do anything for you. That guy is so awesome. And I don't know why you're treating him kind of crappy. And then Buffy turns around and she just lays out the whole deal for Xander. She's like, oh, like how I caught him at a vampire crack den getting a suck job while my mom is getting a brain tumor and operated on. And like, he's out and he's like maybe going back to the military. And all this stuff. And I was just waiting for Xander to be like, oh, okay, you know what? I don't know all this story, so I'm gonna back out.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I knew everything, but I'm gonna leave this maintenance, this random factory that we're in.
Yeah, but I mean, Xander is kind of taken aback by like learning all this information. And Buffy's like, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like beg him to stay? And Xander goes, why wouldn't you? And I was like, damn, that's a fucking good line.
That's a great one.
And Buffy's like, I don't even know who he is anymore. He's out in crack dens getting suck jobs. Like, what the fuck? I thought that Riley was dependable. I thought that he was like the regular guy that everyone's like, you should be dating a regular guy, like a nice, dependable guy. And Riley's like, by dependable, do you mean convenient? Like that, yeah. Oh, yeah, Xander. Xander's like, instead of dependable, I think what you mean is convenient. And I was like, damn, that is another fucking good point, because that's kind of what I was talking about earlier.
Yes. And that is what the scene with Buffy with her mom was about a little bit. They try to like sprinkle that in, like, oh, he'll come around when I need him to come around. Like, yep. Now it's not. And it makes sense. But in that situation, it's not like Buffy's out of line to think that, because she's spending time with her mom who just got out of surgery. So it's like, if it was a different situation where she was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play pickleball, and weren't you supposed to, isn't Saturday the only day you get to see Riley?
My beer league, my softball league.
Yeah, if it was something like less important, it would work a little better for me, I guess. But that's the point of that scene, was like, oh, because why would the mom be like, hey, hang out with your boyfriend? Hang out with your boyfriend.
Yeah. I know if my mom just came out of brain surgery and I was like, all right, I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend, she'd be like, what the fuck? You're good, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Yeah. Doctor said you're doing fine.
Yeah. But Xander's like, you just think of Riley as convenient, like, because you know that he'd be there for you whenever you need him, and he'd leave whenever you want him to leave. Like, you're kind of like golden retriever lap boy that would do anything that you say. And Buffy goes, oh, kind of like how you're with Anya just for convenience. And I was like, whew, this is a heavy fucking
that's a
episode.
Haymaker swing by Buffy. That's when you take, that's that classic argument. It's not about something, and you're against the ropes, and you're like, oh shit, what do I got?
Anya. You got a little dick.
Anya's a demon. You fucked a demon.
But Xander's like, yo, it's not about that.
Faith molested you.
But Xander goes into like, I mean, I feel like you've been treating Riley like he's the rebound guy. Like he's the rebound guy, and you're not like taking notice that he is one of those people that comes around once in a lifetime. He's like a great guy, and he's never held back with you. And if he's not the guy, let him go, break his heart, but make it a clean break. But if you think that you can love him, if there's any chance that you could be in love with him, you should go get him. And then Buffy starts crying.
And Xander does say love right here. Does he say love? Yeah. And this Buffy reaction here is like, man, they making her work these episodes.
I know, dude. She is acting up a fucking storm.
Yeah. Like, watching these episodes after watching Cruel Intentions 2. Like, not Cruel Intentions 2, but Cruel Intentions also.
As well.
Just like watching, like, it's just new levels for her acting ability, Like, she's always been good at it, but like, you get to see the new, and she's just getting better
to do different things.
Yeah, she's getting better. I mean, she's been doing this forever now, and like, she's just getting better at it, and they're writing to make her utilize acting stuff. Instead, it's not just all quips, and it's just like, what, and reactions, but like, she's hitting those serious beats that you have to hit to make things work. And like, her tearing up here was like great. Yeah. And
then so
I just wanted to say, Xander, man, just the most mature person in the show right now.
Yeah.
Like I can't see Giles. Giles would never deliver "This is hard." He would be more. It was more fatherly, and he would like have a couple like lines that would just be like cut straight to the point. But like Xander can have like a on the same level argue back and forth, and he doesn't back down.
Yeah, and he like. I feel like Giles would dance around it a bit more and like play psychologist of like, well, what do you think you should do? Like, what do you think? Yeah. Xander's just like, no bullshit. Yeah. Like, here's the facts. That dude fucking loves you and he'd do anything for you. And you're treating him like a convenience. Like, and then Buffy throws a pot shot at him. He's like, yeah, sure. But this isn't about me. This is you.
Yeah. Like he just absorbed that. Like,
I was like, dude.
He could have turned like younger Xander would have been like, you know what? Fuck you, Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was like a very unexpected place. And it was like nice to see it from Xander too.
Yeah. And the only reason I say I wanted to see a Willow one is just because I think all the scenes here all work. So it'd be interesting to see how she would have approached the situation. But I think we might get like her as it seems like Willow becomes more of the like after something bad happens, the chat. I feel like we might get that next episode.
Yeah. So Xander eventually is just like, Buffy, you've got about 20 minutes. You better fucking run to Riley. And Buffy's like, you know what? I'm gonna. Just starts fucking running.
And I was like, where is she going?
She's going to the empty field where Riley's standing there like a big fucking jackass.
Cell phones work too. Cell phones exist at this point, but they're not.
We've seen Riley with a cell phone.
I do like not having to use cell phones for like TV stuff a lot of the times because it was a lot drama. It was a lot easier without it. And now it's like, oh, you just call them. You don't get the chase to the airport or anything like that. When she started running, and she's running, and they keep cutting between her running and Riley standing on the airfield, in the middle of the Ford's helipad, and. Two things. One, if you're Major Ellis and Graham, are you just like, it's Major Ellis like, what is he waiting for?
Yeah.
And then Graham's like, well, he's been dating this girl. She's like a slayer. Like, does he have to explain it to him? Like, why we're just sitting here while this guy stares at the forest?
Yeah. I wrote in my notes, Riley's standing there like a complete dope. Like, he's just like looking around. Yeah. Like, everyone else is in the helicopter. Like, don't you have to sign any paperwork? Like, is it really like, all right, at midnight, be in the helicopter? Like, what the fuck?
At no point did he tell her where he was leaving from. It's not like he's been picked up and dropped off like 8 times. She's been like, oh, I'll drop you off at the helipad for your next mission. He worked underneath the college. So there's no leeway on that midnight. Yeah. It's the 12:01. Oh, military time, 12. Yeah. And I was just like, and then when they were running, I was like, is she actually running to him or is she going to run the spike?
I was wondering the same thing because there's a moment where she like turns a corner and is running and Riley like looks over.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, is this where they're going to see him? And you see that Riley sees nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, well then where is Buffy?
Yeah. And I wanted it to be Spike so bad for the content of the podcast.
Yeah.
I would have lost my shit.
Yeah.
If Xander would have been so mad that his speech drove her to Spike. And I was like, they wouldn't do it this way, would it?
No.
But that turn would have again. Exactly. I was like, this is gonna be a great podcast if they did that.
But yeah, like that turn where Riley's like, and she's turning that corner. I was like, so where is she? But it's just like she's just a little too far away.
And then I was like, if it's not Spike, who would she be running to?
Yeah. She ran all the way to LA to Angel.
that did cross my mind at some point. It's like you see her waving a taxi down.
But so the helicopter starts and Riley kind of is looking around. He doesn't see Buffy and he's just like, all right, well, I guess believes it is. So he walks back and he hops in the helicopter, buckles up, and then helicopter starts taking off. Then we finally see Buffy running, and she is there, but she is too late. The helicopter is leaving. Riley refuses to look to his left.
And Buffy doesn't love Riley, because if she did, she'd grab something and throw it at the helicopter.
That's what I was thinking. And also, like, if Riley did see her, would he be like, Ellis, let's go back down. Let's go back down. I'm quitting. He's like, well, it's midnight. Like, you crossed the threshold.
Hey, you managed to pack up all your stuff in 20 minutes, get into this ill-fitting leather jacket, and get down here.
Dude, that leather jacket is fucking horrible.
He looks like such a tool. With the, like, turtlenecks, and it just did not work.
No. And, like, I'm going to talk about it on the report, but whatever. Like, the collar, like, is, like, flapping because of the helicopter. It looks so bad, dude.
Yeah, he looks like one of those, like, 70s, like, bad guys or something. I don't know.
Like in Shaft?
Yeah. It's just something, just something off.
I thought that Buffy was going to jump up and grab the helicopter.
You've been watching too many Fast and Furious and Marvel movies. She was going to drive her car and just hit the
explode the helicopter, but also save Riley at the same time as they land on a car.
She needed Dawn's, like, screaming voice.
She absolutely did, because she's screaming Riley.
Yeah.
Riley! She says Riley so weird. Riley! Her accent is bonkers. But the copter takes off, and that's it for Riley. Buffy's left alone on the helipad.
Gosh, I was thinking, like, oh yeah, I can reference Jurassic Park. Yeah, they leave on a helicopter. Jurassic Park. Yay. The original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then get to the chopper, Predator. It's like a whole montage. Someone edited a montage together, Riley on a helicopter with a bunch of helicopter scenes.
Buffy's up there looking at the helicopter. And I will remember you.
It's like, I refuse to look back at the field that I've been staring at the whole time.
He just refuses to look left.
I want to believe that he knows he's down there, but he's like, nah.
He's like, you were 30 seconds late. Fuck that bitch.
Believes it is.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Maybe he's like got motion sickness. If he looks out the window, he starts puking or something. He's afraid of heights. Oh God!
It'd be amazing if Graham saw her, but he just like didn't want her to see.
Yeah, Graham's like, oh, there's nothing down there, Riley. Here, check out this game I got on my.
He just like whips up a giant map of Belize and puts it in front of his face.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, so do we think that's it for Riley?
Is he just? No, I think he's gonna come back, and when Buffy needs him, there's gonna be some moment where Glory's like got Buffy on the ropes, and Riley's gonna come back with Graham.
He dies in Belize.
No. He goes off to Spain to double team her dad's secretary.
This is Cruel Intentions.
Yeah. So yeah, Buffy walks home alone at night now, and she's just shell-shocked. She's like, man, I fucked up. But she may have, I don't know. There's a lot of complicated emotions.
It's a tough way for it to like end.
Yeah, that's tough. There's no closure, really.
None. Like, and it's really like he thinks that she didn't even try to come to save her. So like he's in Belize pissed.
Riley's gonna come back and see Buffy with Spike and be like, what the fuck?
I hope he comes back and he's like,
yeah.
I knew it. And she's like, Riley, it's not what you think. It's exactly what it looks like.
But yeah, so Buffy is walking home alone at night. And then we go to this very, very weird scene that I was not expecting at all.
Did not think this was tracking this way at all.
Yeah.
And first off, I know this is hitting the fashion report.
Mm-hmm.
those pajamas that Anya's wearing, just awful. We've seen them before, but I think it was just like on the phone top mostly. But this is a full body shot, and my God.
Dude, those puffy shoulders.
For this scene to take place with her wearing that, all right.
Yeah. So Xander comes home, and it looks like is this at his apartment or at hers?
It looks like hers.
It looks like hers, right?
Yeah.
All right. So he comes to Anya's place, and she's like, hey, what's up, Xander? And he's like, hey, I know that things have been crazy for a bit, and, you know, you're kind of awkward and weird, but I want you to know that I am in love with you, all right? I want you to know that. I love the things that you do. I love the things that you say. I love how you make me feel. Like, before you, I always felt like a little tiny baby boy, but you make me feel like a man, and I've never felt this way before in my life, and I want you to know that. And then Anya is just like swooned and swept off her feet, and they kiss. And I was like, whoa, out of left field.
Yeah.
I mean, he has said that he loves her before.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think he realized that like Buffy just said, like, oh, like you do with Anya. So he was like, I'm not going to do what Buffy did with Riley to her.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But with everything that was happening this episode, it was like she was being the most annoying she could possibly be to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it was like a weirdly tender, like Xander coming and showing, like stepping up to the plate and being like, here's how I feel. I want you to know this. Like, let me reiterate in case you didn't believe me. This is what the deal is. Mm-hmm. And Anya's like, oh, doesn't say it back.
No woman loves any man in this show. Has Willow said that she loves Tara and vice versa?
I don't think in this show anyone that has said I love you to one character has ever had it said back to them. Okay. Not that I can recall. Maybe Angel and Buffy, but I don't think so.
Yeah, you are the saying love expert of this show. You're the tracker. You're keeping track of that.
Stay tuned for the Joe's Love Report.
And you can see Willow has 4 hearts to Tara's 5.
But yeah, they kiss. It's really tender. It's really nice. But then we juxtapose that with Buffy being home, and she is all sad. She comes in, just sits on the stairs, and her world is rocked. And then we go to Riley in the helicopter, and Riley is all sad because his world is rocked. And
he just paid for a new month's lease. Like, like he's packed up and gone quick.
Yeah.
Are they still sending him checks?
Yeah, I don't know, man. He must have gotten some kind of like back pay for all the experiments that. Yeah,
I do like that they explain that like he's not an agent anymore. He's a civilian, but they still called him agent. But the initiative is disbanded. They're not the initiative. They're just a group that fights demons, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy the military has a group that fights the demons.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy that exists.
Yeah, man. It's the army. It's not the initiative. It's the army.
Yeah.
But Riley must have gotten a great. We never see him get a hint of a job. He's not TAing anymore, it seems.
It seems like Sunnydale has never been worse.
Yep.
I mean,
there's a mystery lady out there causing havoc.
Here's what I'm wondering. If Riley comes back, it will definitely have to tie in with, because they kept showing like, oh, she kept the secret of Dawn being a key from him, which she needs to keep that secret from everybody else. Like their brains might blow up.
Yeah.
Like that'll crush your world, man. Knowing that girl's not real. And then all those memories you had with her just don't exist.
You know what? You know who I think would be a good person to talk to about it, but they could never keep a secret, is Anya.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Anya would spill the beans to Xander so fast, and then Xander would. Well, Xander actually kept the Riley secret.
Oh, yeah. He did a great job with that.
Yeah.
He'll keep secrets that you don't even want to keep secret.
Call back to season 2.
Yeah. I think should they tell Anya that, hey, we think that this Glory person wants the key?
Yeah. And do you know anything about a key?
And Anya's like, oh yeah. What kind of key? Like there's like 5 different ones, but it's like it's metaphysical. She's like, oh, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah, I mean, she could drop the hint. She could say that I heard Anya talking to Dreg that she's like looking for some kind of key. Mm-hmm. Let's research keys, people.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawn will be there. She'll say something stupid and like or silly, and then Buffy will be like, "I can't believe you're the key." So, I mean, that's an interesting second half of the season that we get to deal with.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the episode Into the Woods. I really like this one. I thought it was like emotionally heavy, man.
Man, they're getting us with these titles. Into the Woods, her running into the woods to like to stop Riley from going. The reference? That's the only reference, right?
I don't know. I guess so. That's a little literal.
Yeah, but so was Shadow. So was Listening to Fear. Like it's literal, but not the. They took it to another level.
It's not Reptile Boy.
Yes. Yeah.
That were only reference for.
I know that's not only
Mummy Girl.
Which?
The Pack.
Hyena. Moon. What was the moon one? Phases of the Moon. What was? I don't know.
That was the werewolf one, right?
I don't know what the title of that one was.
Howling at the Moon.
Restless. They can't sleep.
Or
they are sleeping. I don't know.
Hush. Nobody can talk.
Now we're just like reading out titles.
Yeah. All right. Next episode is titled Triangle. Love Triangle?
I think it's a love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm going to think the love triangle might be...
Is Riley back already? Is he pulling a Charles gun?
It's just like the last episode with Joyce going in for surgery. Is she? And then they come back and they're like all nervous and there's like commercial. I know you waited. Riley's like, actually, we got down there. They already solved the problem and believes they killed all the missionaries. They sent us back home.
Well, this would be another one of those like cliffhanger things because this original air date for the next episode is January 9th. So,
oh yeah, it's going to be after the holidays. She's definitely not airing during Christmas or New Year's.
Riley comes back already. And he's like, yeah, we cleared up Belize really quick. What? You're in bed with Spike?
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't end with a little Spike comforting her again.
I thought that when she was walking home alone after missing the helipad, I thought that Spike was going to show up like, why so glum, mate?
Yeah.
Something like that, but nope.
Yeah.
I think it's better that he wasn't.
Yeah. That would have been too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it really sells the emotional weight of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, in Guardians of the Galaxy where they'll have like a really emotional moment and then they'll just have like a goofy quip immediately after, just like dissipates all the heaviness.
Yeah.
That's kind of what ruins those movies for me, I feel.
Yeah, I think they work sometimes better on a second viewing when you've like gotten through, like, all the stuff that's going to happen. So now the weight's kind of taken off and then you can do the jokes. I had that issue. Yeah. What are we really talking about? I had that issue with Thor Ragnarok when I first watched it. I was like, dude, there's a lot of really heavy stuff happening. And it's like, joke, heavy stuff, joke. And then the second time I watched it, I was able to like appreciate it more in a weird way. But yeah, it's too like, you don't have to undercut every emotional beat with the joke.
Yeah, like, dude, I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but 2, I was crying like a baby at some points. But like, they really do fucking just undercut emotionally weighty things with just goofy Drax, like Mantis,
like dad didn't love you, and there's like someone drops their knife, like, oops, sorry, Dad, sorry. I'll just back out. And that's a very, I don't know, like they've been doing a better job of that in Buffy, because I think the first season is it's a little campier, so like a lot of stuff gets jokes underneath it, but yeah.
So that is it for Into the Woods, everybody. Thanks for listening. All the usual plugs here, rate and review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, 5-star Spotify rating. Send it to my DMs at Joe Welke if you want to get a shout out or do some Amazon wishlist throne stuff. That's once again, thanks to Slytherin. This fucking Major Melon got me through this podcast. I did not sleep well last night.
How is your Mountain Dew?
It's fucking fantastic. It's fantastic.
I can't remember the last time I've had a Mountain Dew.
You want a Major Melon? I'll give you one.
I'll take a Major Melon.
Hell yeah, dude. It's 180 grams of caffeine.
What? That's so much.
It's equal to 2 cups of coffee, it says on the bottle. Yeah, 0 sugar added.
How much sugar is in it, though? They say added.
4 grams.
Oh. Huh.
That's not bad. No, dude, fucking these energy Mountain Dews are fucking great. 20 calories.
Yeah, I thought it, yeah. So that's not like a straight up soda. It's
no, this is an energy drink.
Okay. Gotcha.
As if Mountain Dew wasn't caffeinated enough.
Right. They're like, let's get less of that and more of the caffeine.
So there's that. Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy for Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies, Joe's Fashion Report. Then we also have our Instagram page, which is, growing pretty good, pretty rapidly.
We have some fun stuff on there. Check out the reels,
Yeah, at Boys Watching Buffy. The email, which no one ever uses, is boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. Not that I'm saying that you have to. It's much. I don't think that.
Yeah, I mean, we have Discord.
We check it occasionally. We got the Discord. Yeah. I mean, everybody's on the Discord. Discord's blowing up a little bit.
The Discord is where you want to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations going on in there. We got the book club and everything. The book club is like a new spoiler section where I just don't go in there because I'm like,
this week we had a long debate about the layout of the Summers home.
Oh boy. Yeah, we did.
It's a deep dive of how that place looks.
Very fun. Dude, I love when we get into those deep dive things and debates and shit.
Yeah.
So join the Discord. It's a lot of good shit going on in there. And if there's stuff, if you want to bring up shit from season 2, season 3, we have separate channels for that.
And there's a full spoiler channel for people to go in and have seen the whole show, and you guys can talk amongst yourselves about how bad our predictions have been or what you're looking forward to us finding out.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Thanks for listening once again, everybody, and stay tuned next week for when we talk about Triangle.
Sometimes I envy you so much it chokes me. And sometimes I think I got the better deal. To be that close to her and not have her. To be all alone even when you're holding her. Feeling her beneath you. Surrounding you. The scent of... No, you got the better deal.
I'm the lucky guy. Yeah. I'm the guy.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.